We talk a lot about orgasms and trying to have them, but we rarely talk about what orgasms are not. Well, stay tuned, because today that is exactly what I want to tackle. You know, we get a lot of messages about orgasms and having them and what they are supposed to be and what they're supposed to not be. So today I want to break down what they are not. Number one, orgasms have no hierarchy. And what I mean by that is that there is not one that's better than the other, that sometimes they come in ways where, you know, sometimes they're a little bit more mellow and other times they're like fireworks. The difference is that it's all good. Every orgasm that you have is worthwhile and of merit. And I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be having these orgasms that are always spectacular. But we, like women, are individuals and we are all different. Our orgasms are just like us. They flow, they change, they can be different. Yours are okay. Physiological. There's this idea that as women, we are tied to the end result. You know what? For our menfolk, that is a thing. They have a biological response that means the end and signifies their climax. But for women, it's a little bit different. We may have a physiological response, like we start to, breathing gets rapid, the blood flow runs to our clitoris, but for us, the difference is that we actually find that our bodies don't feel necessarily that heightened orgasm. For women, what you may find is you can get there, but that orgasm may feel a little flat, or you know, it wasn't as great as you want it to be, because our orgasm isn't tied to that actual outcome. Having an orgasm vaginally. Do you know what? Only 1/3 of women actually have orgasms that come from a vaginal response. Only 1/3 of us. So I want to take the pressure off. And really, why is it that we think that that's the best way for us to have an orgasm? And the reason why that is so is because we live in a society that has taken the viewpoint from a male perspective. It's only been in the last 30 years or so that we've even started to study the female orgasm and the experience of how women have sex and experience sex in a really detailed kind of way. So it's no wonder that beforehand we're thinking that it's got to be a vaginal orgasm that makes it all the difference. For women, our clitoris is queen. Our clitoris is the space that really has all of our 3,000 nerve endings. Sorry, our 8,000 nerve endings. Men have 3,000 nerve endings. So we are built for pleasure. But the only thing is that we are sometimes going about hitting that pleasure a little bit differently than is the best way for us. For women who do experience orgasm vaginally, it's really about the distance that sits between your urethra and your actual clitoris. That distance between the two spaces really helps to conjoin or allows for the way that the penis or whatever you're penetrating or you're using to penetrate will hit your vaginal walls that lead into the extra tuberous membranes that sit at the sides of your clitoris. Those membranes are erectile tissue, and we believe that that's actually the space which is the top of your clitoris that sits in the vaginal wall that we call the G-spot. You see how this all clits in? The clit is still queen even when we're being penetrated. The clitoris is the way to go. We live in a society that has created a space where women haven't always been able to step front and center. And while I'm excited because I'm seeing it change, we are demanding our pleasure. It is so okay for us to readjust the way that we're thinking about pleasure because now we can. have existed in a space where the patriarchy has decided that women can only have sex through penetrative sex. And I think it's really time to switch that idea. It's really like us saying to guys that the best way for them to have sex or to enjoy sex would be from them only having it from their prostate, or having it, touching, having their balls be dangled, that being their best way. All it takes is for us to do a little adjusting in our thinking. We got to put our clitoris front and center. Women's orgasms have always been studied through a male lens. And now that we are starting to switch it up, it may seem a little weird, but what that really means is that we can change up the dynamic and the experience of our orgasm. For women, our orgasms are not tied into anything other than our desire and our practice. We can decide what kinds of orgasm and how we are okay in the experience of our orgasms. It's perfectly fine to just decide to give yourself permission to explore what your orgasm can mean for you. It means that it is not tied to just one area of your body. You can have breast orgasms, you can have thigh orgasms, you can have leg orgasms, you can have sucking on your toe orgasms. All of it is about a rewiring of the brain, because our brains are our sexiest tool, by the way. Orgasms for us are like just having the cherry on top. We are beautifully designed with all of the physical things that we need to create life, which is what sex is really originally created for. But for whatever reason, we've added these divine natural gifts and additives like orgasm to make the space even better for us. If you like this video, take a picture of me going sexy and tag me on Instagram. I really am about spreading the love and being empowered in our sexual spaces. You are worthy of all of it. And don't mind, my dog is trying to talk to me right now. Dumb dog. Bye for now.